Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my podcast this wonderful day. It's another day, a beautiful day. We have a very special person in our midst today. Man, you can't wait to see this beautiful face. She is special. She's not an ordinary woman. She is from another lineage. Those people that we regard so much, she's those people that care about women. You know about them? Today, you're going to hear from her and know why I say she's special. From my right, I have with me Kabirat.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Slava Kamrat. I'm back again.
Okay, so my people, we have a special guest today in the studio. We have Tambiwa. Tambiwa, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm very happy to have you today in the studio. So, how has been the life in Malaysia?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's a privilege, it's an honor to be here and just to chat with you guys. My experience in Malaysia, to be honest, it has been a roller coaster. Let's just say that.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
It's been a roller coaster, but it's a good ride.
of course.
It's a
And you were enjoying the ride.
It was fun, right? It's scary, but fun, right?
Oh, you have been enjoying it for 6 years, right?
6 years now, yeah.
She is 6 years in Malaysia.
Yep.
And do you know who she is? She is a medical doctor. She is a model, and she is a public speaker. So tell us, how are you combining being a model, public speaker, and being a medical doctor? How do you combine all this?
So at that.
It seems a bit random when I do tell people this. I'm like, how do all these things
Yeah,
connect?
because I know that to be a medical doctor, you need a lot of attention.
It does. But I think one thing, so the medical line has always been my dream. To be a doctor was always my dream. And that was the reason why I came to Malaysia, right? To pursue my dream. I was like, I'm going to study, I'm going to make it happen, right? So along that journey, you do find opportunities that come up.
Yeah.
Malaysia is a place ripe with opportunity. I think that's something that we can talk about
Cool. That's true.
later, But when the opportunity arose for me to try modeling and acting and whatnot, I took it. And it led to one thing, led to another. And long story short, I'm here. But the different fields all have a lot of similarities. That's what I would say. Things like confidence, things like the way you present yourself. And for me personally, my personal belief is in people's stories, right?
Okay.
People, I want whatever I say, whatever I do to have an impact on somebody's life.
That's cool.
If that's prescribing medication or if that's just listening or whatever.
I got it.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
me.
So all this while you have been going in and out, going to modeling classes, going to school.
Yeah.
What has been your major challenge combining all this together?
The biggest challenge, I think, other than time management,
Okay.
of course, time management is always going to be there. You need to know your priorities. It's also imposter syndrome, self-doubt. Sometimes you're going to a shoot and you're like, do I even know? Yeah.
Can I do
And
it?
then, can I do it? Or you have an exam coming up and now you're like,
Yeah, no, you
maybe
need to
I-
pause this. and
maybe
do this.
maybe I wasted too much time doing this, or you start regretting things. And sometimes, by faith, you should just walk. You should just do by faith.
I think you're a good Christian.
Let's ask God. But yeah, those are the two main challenges.
Wow, that's good. Okay. In the medical school, how has it been your time, your 5 years in the school and the 1 year medical practice, right? Is it called?
3 years, actually,
years.
we did. So basically, medical school, the way that it's structured here, it's quite similar to Africa still. You have 2 years preclinical, like just in the classroom, theory.
okay.
And then 3 years, you're usually attached to a hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was attached with Hospital Kuala Lumpur. So they let the medical students come in, work with patients. And then you still have classes and exams. So yeah, I've just finished that. But that's medical school here in Malaysia is around 5 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
as a black African studying medicine in Malaysia, was there any discrimination, or because
And not,
sometimes people used to complain, because, other than the language barrier and other things. Sometimes like what we face on a daily basis on the street. Sometimes you want to talk to a local, the person will like you're Africa. Some are
even
racist.
working in like a
So
big
some are racist.
hospital.
So you
Yeah.
that work in a big hospital and as a medical doctor, the patient that come to those hospital, how is the relationship?
Okay, so generally, in my experience, the relationship with the patients, they're usually really accepting, actually.
Okay.
Because patients are coming to the hospital for help. And
Okay.
if you are that person, they will still have questions. Trust me. The first thing a lot of patients ask me is about my hair, right?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, so if I have braids in, they'll be like, "Are those dreadlocks?" And then you can have conversation like that. But
Oh.
usually, they don't mean it.
So they are totally accept you as a black doctor taking care of them in the hospital. Like they don't behave the way they do to us in the street and all the rest.
Maybe like I would say maybe 10 to 15%, especially if you're a black guy. But 10 to 15% of patients will be uncomfortable with you performing physical exam or going further.
Okay.
If there's no local there, that's what I should say. I guess that's just the way things are here.
That means that there has
Yeah.
not been total acceptance
No.
from them.
No, of course, it's never going to be 100% acceptance.
But
yeah.
in Africa we if you have a white guy among the doctors,
Yeah.
even the patient want the white doctor
They want the
Yeah.
white
to take care to be the
care
one
of
to
you.
take care.
Yeah.
But because the way I see them, the way they do to us in the street, so I also think how would they be treating the medical
The
doctors and the
doctors.
nurses in the hospital? So
But you know what's funny, I would say, though? It's actually other medical staff and professionals who treat black medical students and doctors worse. It's
Seriously?
actually the other staff in the hospital who you think are more educated, who
okay, not
tend to
the
have more
patient.
prejudice and treat you some type of way. So those are the people who can exclude you and
okay, not from the patient.
Yeah.
Okay, from during the time you are in the school, how many blacks doctors during your set?
in my school and in my batch, it's maybe like 3 of us from Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 of us out of 150.
Out of 153.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's so obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it's obvious.
it's obvious.
Yeah. So, your experience in the school, how was it?
It was a mixed bag.
Doing medicine in Malaysia, knowing how expensive the school fees in Malaysia,
Expensive.
and
Yeah, how
and
do you
being a
get
foreigner.
it all paid?
So
Like,
how
that's
do
a
you
private
how do
university,
yeah,
though.
and it's a private university,
Yeah.
and it's one of the biggest private university we know
yeah.
that do medicine in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So how do you combine the payment and the being an African and the every other thing?
Did the modeling pay the price?
Okay, so modeling helped, I should say, or modeling and all my other side hustles in Malaysia
Okay.
helped me
So
get to where I
were you earning from being
Yeah.
a model and a public speaker?
I was earning, yeah. Not enough for tuition level
Okay.
because, working here in
Was
Malaysia.
enough to pay the house rent and the bills.
Other stuff, yeah,
Okay.
little things. And I
Okay.
worked at clinics and whatnot, but there's a limit, they'll limit you as an African here.
Okay.
But other than that, it's mostly private finance. It's your parents, it's scholarships,
God bless
sure.
you, our
but-
parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
You came from. It came from. She came from Malawi. So if you don't know, she's not in Nigeria. She's from Malawi. Did you came under the government scholarship?
I did not. And they
Okay.
don't offer many for international students for medicine specifically. They want you to pay the big bucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pay
Okay.
the price.
So,
Okay.
Actually, people all like normally think like as a foreigner here in Malaysia, like your school fees are being paid like based on scholarship or anything.
No.
But it's not. It's not as what people
No,
think.
it's not- it's not
Malaysia
true.
doesn't really give scholarship. They give scholarship to their people.
Yeah.
not
No.
international.
I'm not actually asking if Malaysia gave her scholarship, like because I have seen most of Africans that came. Some came from Kenya, and all
Yeah.
they say they came under scholarship from their government.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's their
So,
government.
so like
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking. Maybe she came under
Yeah.
scholarship, and most of them are in Massa. So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
maybe
Oh.
Yes, a lot
yeah,
of them from
from the
Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea.
Their
Yeah, correct.
government
Yeah,
supports them
God,
so
they
well.
support a lot.
Yeah.
Support them a lot. Yeah, I've
They're
seen
really good
so many of
example
them.
here. They're
So
a
many
good
of them.
example. Yeah.
Okay, so so far you are done and you have done your practicing, and I would say congratulations to you.
Thanks.
So believing that you're going to use your good office as a medical doctor to also support Africans. So now, what is your are you going to go into full time modeling, or you want to go full time practicing
doctor.
your medicine?
Right? So that's where the choice comes. I'm going to be a full time doctor, of course. Medicine
Okay.
was my first love, always.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, medicine is always my first love. But I will definitely take the education aspect forward. I would still do public stuff and
Okay.
public health promotions and
Like
campaigns,
awareness.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
you know, but definitely healthcare. I think that is the thing that's going to transform people's lives, you know.
So are you planning to
More
leave
for me.
Malaysia? Are you planning to work in practice in Malaysia?
I'm not planning to practice in Malaysia. And actually, the government doesn't allow international students who finish medical school here to do their housemanship here. So you must go back to another country or your home country to do your housemanship.
But
Yeah.
I think I've seen an African. She finished, I think, UPM or something, and she's also practicing here in the hospital.
Yeah, but it depends on, is it under housemanship, or you can practice your electives, like you can still.
I think they already employed her. Yeah, I met her last year. She's a medical doctor, and she's a Nigerian, and she's already. But she said, because she was complaining about the salary that what she's earning is
That
not
as well.
enough, like what they pay to their locals. So she feel like going to another country to go and.
Further. That's another reason why a lot of internationals don't stay to practice here. They don't pay their doctors already very well. So then, what more of a foreign doctor?
So, is it could that be because of because the internationals are not looked into by the government or the hospital? Because like last time, my last podcast, I was asking one of the local. I was asking her why your government don't have inclusion for foreigners to work, because even those who spend a lot of money to school here, like for instance, being a medical doctor,
Yeah.
I compare from Africa. I know how expensive it is to be a medical doctor, how many years money is spent. So why is your government not having inclusion? Bringing people, these people have studied, like giving them opportunity to work, give them
Yeah,
equal right,
yeah.
because it is your own lecturer that taught them in the class.
Yeah.
It is your own, everything was from your school, from your country. So what's the problem that you cannot employ them and give them, like, unlike US, Canada, they employ you and give you the same equal right.
Yeah.
So I was asking her why your government don't want to do this inclusion. Let people feel like you are working, you studied here, you employ the person. But she said that it's not from the government. I say government is, to me, is the major reason why all these things are happening, because if there is a law that they should employ, I don't think anyone can question that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So, to your modeling, how many years have you been doing modeling in Malaysia?
So a good 5 years.
5
yeah,
years,
most of my time here.
That means immediately you came, you
Yeah.
You are doing this and doing that at the same time.
Yeah, basically. And again, it was on and off. So, you know,
Okay.
there, because it's hard as well to find work as a dark-skinned, curvy, you know,
Yeah, curvy.
woman. You're not going to have so many shows.
So how do you get into like modeling stuff?
So a funny story. It really started with pageants.
Okay,
so
pageant, okay.
I don't know if you guys know Miss Africa Malaysia,
Yeah.
but I was a contestant at one point, and just meeting people in that space, right, of
Okay.
people who are modeling and whatnot. It was just a coincidence. I found it on Instagram. I was like, okay, I'll go see what Africans are doing there. And I was so thrilled to see other African women, beautiful women who are doing such interesting things from all over the continent, all together in one place in an organized,
Yeah.
whatever. So then from there, I met some agents who helped me out, and then you just
So
network your
did
way.
you sign any contract with the agents?
I didn't sign any contract. Thank God I didn't. Thank God. Because I've had a lot of friends and colleagues who did, especially locals, but even internationals who did. And the entertainment business is a dirty business sometimes, and if they can trap you in a contract that is unfair to you, they will.
Especially you being a student.
And you not knowing better, you don't know that being paid $100 for 12 hours work is unethical. But if that's your first gig, I used to be paid like really little, and I didn't know any better. I was like, oh yeah, it's okay, and the agents are the ones who give you that when they're taking and keeping 90% of the cut.
Yeah.
And then it's only through time and experience. I was like, okay. So that's why I'm a bit like with modeling in Malaysia, you have to be careful a little bit. Yeah.
Because all the models that have come to the studio, no one has said anything good. They all keep complaining the same thing because
I'm not surprised.
Because of I think the agent involved, they
Yeah.
just bring them in and do some bullshit with them,
Yeah, kind of.
So, have you won any awards since 5 years you have been doing the modeling?
I have more so. Okay, so modeling side, I've worked on movie sets
Okay,
with some pretty big
Okay.
artists, music videos, dancing.
So you can dance? Oh my God! I think.
Guys,
Do you want to
please.
give us some dance help in your studio?
No. There's a reason why I'm a doctor and not a dancer. That being said, it was one of those things you just do to
Yeah,
push
yeah.
yourself,
I
right?
got
Put
it.
on your resume, do something interesting and different.
Yeah.
And then, with modeling, I then became an MC and speaker for Mr. Africa. So I've hosted quite a few events.
Oh,
Earlier
wow.
this year, we had the APU Africa Day, where we had a good 1,000 people come through, and representatives from 10 African embassies all there.
Wow.
And it was lit. Honestly, it was lit.
You are the coordinator.
I was the MC. I
MC,
was
wow.
The speaker.
the woman of the night that
Wow.
night. So apart from that, I'm also a 2-time national public speaking championship here in Malaysia.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah. So those are my main highlights and achievements
Wow,
Oh.
that's
so far.
great.
So can you tell us about your country, Malawi, and before you left the country, were you planning to come to Malaysia to do medicine, or you just want to travel out of the country?
Okay, so a little bit more about my background, right? So obviously I'm Malawian, right? I was born in Malawi. Malawi is located in Southeast Africa. It's very small. So it's understandable if people don't know where it is, But we have our beautiful Lake Malawi, and so we have a lot of beaches.
Oh.
We're very peaceful, calm, chilled country. It's just poverty, right? It's just corruption.
Just corruption in Africa.
Like most of Africa,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's our main issue. That being said, I was born in Malawi, but when I was very young, my parents moved us and my family to the States. So I grew up a bit in America and then in the UK. And whilst I was in the UK, I was kind of like, okay, what do I study now? You're looking at
So how did you you have been in US and you've been in UK?
Yeah.
How did you decide to come and do medicine in Malaysia?
So that's what I mean. So you're looking at, when time came for me to go to university, you're looking at prices, right? You're looking,
Okay.
medicine is such a long degree.
I got it.
know?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Outside that, it's also, I wanted to travel. I wanted to do something different.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
but-
been to Asia.
Yeah, because I've been to America and
You know?
and UK, so I want to come to Asia.
Yeah, I wanted to experience something different, and I
uh,
wanted to get away from home. Come on.
Ah.
Right? If your parents will send you halfway across the world, I was like,
Okay.
let's do it.
Let's
So
do it, like-
it wasn't my first choice either, to be honest. But you know, it's kind of easier to get the visa, to get acceptance, to the process here. It's not as bad as some other places.
Yes, exactly.
So I was like, you know what? Why not? And it worked. That's the main thing. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
here.
it
It
does.
wasn't what I expected, but that wasn't a bad
So
thing.
so when you
Yeah.
came to Malaysia, what were you happy that you came? Finally, your dream has come true, or you came and you are disappointed with the weather?
Wait,
and
tell me
everything?
one expectation and your one reality in Malaysia getting
That's
here.
a really good question. One of my expectations, I was definitely expecting people to be friendlier. Definitely,
Friendly?
yeah, nicer because
To the, I mean, the locals or the internationals?
locals, of course.
Yeah.
You know, you're coming to somebody's country.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna learn
Because
all this.
you were thinking that they're like where you're coming from, America, and they,
Exactly,
and,
or
Well-
even what you see on the media about Japan, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's so.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa.
That's a, yeah, konnichiwa. I was like, honey.
but you know, when I want to come to Malaysia, when I go to the embassy, when I saw Malaysia is a beautiful country, so like the way they do the drawing and everything. So I was thinking when I come to Malaysia, that it's gonna be a friendly country.
Right.
But when I came, they say this one don't talk to this
Cannot
person.
lah. Don't do
cannot
that.
lah. Oh my God! I was like, oh, this country. This wasn't what I saw.
Yeah.
What I saw on the internet before I came. So
Yeah, that was an expectation that wasn't lived up to, I would say. That being said, it's not like people are you know, it's not that everybody
Just
is
everybody is on their lane. Like
their own
paddle your own
thing,
canoe.
yeah. And if you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you most of the time.
I call them copy and paste when
Yeah.
I first come here. Yeah, that's what I call them. Because when you are going on the way, just like the-
but you know, not all of them are copy and paste. You know.
No, not all of them.
No,
That's
some,
the thing.
some are uncopyable. You can't. You know,
That's
came.
true.
You know, I came here as an African. In Africa, we are used to greeting our elders. When you see an elderly person, you say good morning or good afternoon. So the first time I came here, I entered the lift. I saw elderly men and women. I say good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma.
They won't
They didn't
answer
talk to
you.
me.
They just look at you.
Like they were like, I was like, what's going on? The next day, I still saw people. I greeted
You
them.
know,
They-
up till now,
So
I stick with them, but
then-
I don't mind maybe the
then,
answer.
then
or
now,
not.
Yeah,
when
this
I
is for you.
when,
It's just
when I
for
met
me.
when I
I
met
stick
when I
with
met little children in the lift, so I was expecting them to
Yeah,
to greet me, you know,
They don't
as an
say-
African. So they don't even care.
No.
So like now,
Culture shock.
It's just now that we are now closer to them.
Yeah.
I started teaching some of them. When you see an elderly person,
You
you just say greeting, send
Yeah.
a greeting,
Just
because
say hello.
you can say hello if you don't want to say good morning or good afternoon, because
Or
in
at least
Africa that's how we do.
smile.
Just a smile.
Just smile.
Understand?
You
So-
even that is too much here.
So no.
For
no,
them
no,
to
no.
smile.
When we came
Some
new,
of them
when we
don't
came new, when you smile, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, when you smile, it's a problem. Most people, when you smile to a woman, they think, oh,
Yeah.
because the woman might go and report it to the husband. You know the one that make me crazy when I discovered that African can call someone, hello dear, how are you dear? Here the first day I mentioned dear, the kind of warning I got from the woman, I was mad.
yeah.
Why you send me dear what? Am I your husband?
Yeah, am I your husband?
Why I said dear? You my husband? You my husband? I said no, dear is just normal thing in Africa, America. We just someone is say hello dear, how are you?
Term of endearment, right?
Oh
It's
my
just-
God.
But
Like, it was crazy, man. So, but all the same, we keep learning, and
Yep.
so now you saw that your expectation where you're coming,
yeah.
it wasn't what they.
Yeah, it wasn't what I thought,
Mm-hmm.
but
All the same, you
you learn, you adapt.
learn, yeah.
You
And
keep it
at least you
moving.
have something to tell when you go back.
It's a story to tell.
So of course, it's a very big story
It's
to
a
tell
story to
because that is why they said travel is part of education.
Oh, yeah,
because you
100%.
must have to learn those people's culture and their behavior also. So since you came to Malaysia, have you gone back to see your parents? Or
Yeah, I have.
how often do you travel?
I don't travel too often. In the last 2 years, like since the pandemic, like maybe once a year. And then
Okay.
my parents have also come once.
Oh,
Yeah.
they came from UK or US?
They came from Canada, actually.
Canada.
Now
Oh.
they're based in
Oh,
Canada.
they are moved from US to UK.
Now
not to
they're
Canada.
based in Canada,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
They love to travel.
They like to travel.
Okay,
I
that's
get
good.
it from them. But yeah.
So, how are you enjoying the streets of Malaysia? Have you been traveling to islands and other places?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to answer one question. Can you speak Malay?
As a medical doctor,
Boleh.
you're supposed to speak.
Boleh, boleh.
You're supposed to know how to speak Malay because some locals doesn't know English, so you have to
Yeah.
at least small.
Yeah, at least a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little
I
bit.
can-
Basic.
Yeah, the basic
The
thing. Yeah.
basics, yes.
So that's good.
to
Can,
know.
cannot.
Yeah, where's the pain? That's the main one. Sakit, where? So
Okay.
yeah, a little bit, but I didn't pick it up very quickly. I don't know why. Actually, the Malays don't like speaking Malay to foreigners as well. They don't want to
Yeah,
teach
they
us.
don't- some
I
don't
was
want
so
to teach.
ready to learn Malay when I first came. I bought books and everything. I was ready
yeah,
to.
but
Yeah, I have books too.
Yeah, but I think
But
if you want to
they-
learn, they want you to come to class and you learn in the class.
But even in their classes, at least in my school, they didn't even teach it well.
No,
You know,
You
one
need
thing,
conversation,
about
you need
Malaysian
real-
classes, their classes are so simple and so interesting.
Yeah.
But when they give you that question paper, you feel like you never learned anything.
When you're talking to people, you feel like you're not talking the same
the same thing that
Malay. Yeah. So it's better to learn on the
Yeah.
street, I think.
No, better to learn on the streets.
Yeah.
So, generally, your stay in Malaysia and the time you are in Canada, you are in the UK and the US, which do you prefer?
People ask me that, and it depends because every country has its good and bad.
Exactly.
Everywhere. Malaysia is a dream, it's a heaven for some people.
Yep.
You know, so don't think that.
Most especially for us, Africa, Malaysia is a dream. That's
It-
a very
yeah.
it's a heaven.
It's a-
Don't
heaven.
rule it out because somebody didn't have everywhere has its good and bad. It depends on what your goals are, I think, as well. Because, if your goal is to have your family and raise them safely, the States probably isn't the
So
best place.
do you want to? Are you planning to establish your own hospital?
I would
or-
like to. Yeah, eventually I would like to. That's the dream.
Okay.
We need more. We need more health institutions in
Are you planning to
Africa.
do that in Africa or in Canada?
I would like to do that in Africa.
Okay.
Where it's actually needed.
Malawi or
be
in
honest.
Nigeria? I plan to send it to Nigeria.
Guys, I've thought about Nigeria, but I'm scared.
Why is it of
Why
Nigeria?
is scared
I'm
of them?
You can say
scared.
that you know that when you go to Nigeria to practice, I'm telling you, you're gonna be happy for yourself because Nigerians they prefer to treat foreigners more better than the citizens.
Yeah.
So when you go there to practice, you're gonna earn more and you're going to be well taken care.
But there's already a lot of good Nigerian doctors. You get what I mean?
No,
That's
for
what I
sure.
feel.
For sure, Nigerian doctors are doing well abroad. But
Yeah.
when it comes to Nigeria, because of
Yeah.
the way them that studied in Nigeria, they look down on them.
Okay,
So they
yeah.
prefer to employ those that came from abroad.
Yeah, okay. I
You understand?
I
And those who are in abroad prefer to employ the one that came from Nigeria.
That came from Nigeria.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Just like a Nigerian medical doctor going
That
to
is very
UK, US, they will employ them immediately.
Oh, yeah,
because
there's a
They
lot
know
of
that
them.
they are good.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'll consider it, guys.
Yeah,
I'll consider it.
So now are you running up to go back to your country, or you still have more time to,
Or do you want to stay here and
or do you want to still further
travel?
to do your public speaking and the modeling for a while before you go back to start your practice?
Yeah, I'm not running away so soon. I'm still here for a good 2 months or so, and then I'm gonna go.
For a good 2 months.
Yeah.
That means you're already going already.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, it's not
Because
much time.
Malaysia times like for the brink of an high, like 2
Yes.
months is just like
Yeah, no,
2
no.
months
Yeah.
is tomorrow.
Malaysia
That's
time
true.
is flying.
It's
That's-
flying like
It flies.
Flying.
But-
I don't think it's if it's same time in Africa.
No, just like
sometimes
know.
before you know it, we are already 5 years in Malaysia. Before you know it,
Yeah,
you're 6 years.
yeah. Time flies.
10 years comes like you don't know how. I just came. How come I'm getting 10 years?
getting
So
10
that's
You're
Malaysia
like,
for
how
you.
did I get here? But
That's Malaysia for you. So, do you have any advice for the youth that want to study medicine in Malaysia?
oh yeah.
What's your advice for
or I
them?
want to come to Malaysia.
I don't want to come from Malaysia to
Malaysia
study.
in general. Well, I think the main thing I always have to stress is your education is not your degree, right? Your degree is a piece of paper, even a medical degree. Why do I say this? Because you can learn everything in the book and still be a bad doctor.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, we all know that. So your objective is to learn how to, and this can apply not just to medicine, right? It's anything,
everything.
Yes,
whatever it is you
in
want
every-
to do, learn from the OGs, the
Yes.
real ones who are in the field doing the stuff.
Correct.
You know, do what you need to do to pass or whatever, but then
Yeah.
define for you, no, if I'm going to be the best surgeon, if I'm going to be the best teacher, you know, then I'm going to learn how to actually do that. And those are the skills that you want. You want to start picking up experience. I think, especially here in Malaysia, if you can, get a part-time job or get a volunteering experience. It's here. It's possible. But people will be very quick to tell you, especially here in Malaysia, and especially as an African, you can't do this. You can't do that. No, it's never been done before. Don't believe them at all. That's my biggest thing. You have to say, if it's never been done, I will do it.
Let me
Because that's the only thing. Otherwise, if you let people say, no, cannot, I wouldn't have been in med school even, you know, I wouldn't have gotten as far because at every point somebody was saying, you
can't do it.
can't,
Can't
you
do
know, or, you know, it's better go back to your country and then da-da-da-da. If you listen, so you have to have a little bit of rebelliousness, I guess, in your nature, but, you know, have your priorities straight as well. Don't just rebel for the sake
Yeah,
of.
set apart. Right,
There's a
because-
reason why those rules are there.
Yeah.
Learn the rules so you know which ones to break.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's my main advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
To those that want to come into modeling in Malaysia, and what's your own advice there? Because you have been the department.
Okay. With the entertainment industry in general, I think number one, be okay with saying no. Be okay with not just going along with everything that somebody says.
Sorry, have you done photo shoot since you study modeling? Because I want to ask something about the photo shoot. Have you done photo shoot?
I've done photo shoots, many.
Because there was I learned they do photo shoots, the kind of photo that they do. They do painting, body
Yeah,
painting.
some of them can. Yeah, some of them
Have you done
do.
the body painting?
No, I've always refused. I don't do bikini stuff. I don't do.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious about
Yeah,
what
because-
I want to be
Because
involved in.
you can say no.
I know my future, right?
Yes.
So I could do a shoot here for, you know, whatever, how much they pay you, but you don't know how they're going to use that material. You don't know even the experience. I have a lot of friends who've had very bad, you know, harassment experiences on
Yep,
these shoots. And you have to know your worth. You have to be able to say, nope, I don't want to do that. And they'll be like, no, but you can just da, 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 da. But you have to know what you want out of it. And guess what? My career never ended because I chose to be. In fact, it was more respected that I chose to be more on the professional side of things, right? To be a public speaker and whatnot. You know, so the one thing is, you know how to say no, but also network.
Just set about the thread and know how to say no. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because all this,
Especially as
all this,
women.
all this complaint I'm hearing about body painting and the
Yeah, I've
harassment
heard.
and all the rest is because they don't want to say no.
They don't want to say no.
No, this I can't do it. Nobody's
and
gonna be.
you think that, if I say no, then they're not going to offer me opportunities.
Yeah, they will
It
surely
doesn't
offer
work
you.
like that.
I was saying because they
Yeah.
think that you bring yourself so low, so they have to make use of yourself. But if you set your standard, no, this I can't do it. I know who I am. I know where I'm going to.
Yeah.
I don't think they can
have
force
your
you.
future
You understand?
ahead of
They
you.
they can't force you, but there's the pressure there. Some photographers will, to be honest, a lot of the photographers are even fake. You know, they
They're
will
fake, of
say, I'm a photographer, let's go to Langkawi and
Let's go have photo shoot.
yeah, photo shoot there, everything will be paid. You think you're following your career, but just talk to a few other people in your field. That's what I also said, right? Make sure you're talking to the real people in that field who are working, because I've had so many young models come to me and be like, Tandi, have you worked with so and so? Are they okay? And I'm like, thank God you asked me, because ABCD, stay away. I can say that, but then that's insider knowledge, right? It's not something that will be publicly So ask. If you don't know, ask. Or if
You
you're
don't know,
unsure, say
ask
no.
and learn to say no.
Learn to say no.
That's very important.
Opportunities will be there, but take care of yourself for real. You are your
Know what you want.
best investment. Treat yourself as such, honestly.
That's
yeah.
good.
That's my basic thing.
That's very interesting. Okay, we are coming to an end of this podcast. So finally, what is your final word for today in general?
My final word for today is always keep reflecting. Keep reflecting on your experiences, keep reflecting on yourself, but don't let it hurt you. Let it make you better. So my saying, my personal philosophy is turn your pain into power.
Exactly.
Turn your pain into power, no matter what it is you're doing, what it is you're experiencing. And especially for those of you who are struggling in Malaysia, I know things are tough, but you have to find a way to turn that pain into power.
Okay, to you, Kabarat?
It's just like same thing like we have been saying since like for me, I would just say learn to say no. Like that no of a thing, like it has been like a very big day in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Like you will be going through something and will be like, oh, if I say no, maybe I'm going to lose the opportunity.
Yeah.
Or if I say no, the privilege won't come again. Or if I say no, I will lose like a huge thing. You know what? If one door doesn't close, another one won't open.
Sure.
And if a door closes, there's always be window. So
Right.
learn to say no.
Okay, all right, wonderful people. We have come to an end of today's podcast. Thank you very much, Doctor, for coming to share with us your experiences and your and the wonderful advice. Thank you very much, Kabirat. Please, you are there. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe.
subscribe
Top
now.
V Media Podcast. I will also paste her handle. You need to subscribe. Follow her. Because she's going places. She's going to Canada, she's going to US. You'll be following to know more. Very soon she'll be teaching us a lot about medicine. So you need to follow her also. Please share this podcast anywhere, anytime you get it. Keep sharing, keep watching. We love you. And we are going to bring more people that have experience, people that come and teach you. I told you out there, don't sit at home. If you have anything bothering you, come to the podcast, speak out, say your mind, feel free. Don't be scared of anyone. It's a frankly speaking. You say it the way you feel, then your mind will be clear. No need to be at home telling me that you are depressed, trying to commit suicide. Why you want to commit suicide? That if you know what's the problem, you come, you say it. The people will hear you. The world will hear you. There might be solution waiting for you to say, but because you have not spoken out, the thing keep troubling you. So come out and say it out. We love you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.